Hello and welcome back to another Draft League battle video, and today I have the third week of the APL against Brett and his Iraqounits. Um, I've had a rocky start this season, starting 0-2, but today I hope to be able to defeat Brett and his incredibly scary team consisting of Zygar 50%, Sylveon, Bronzong, Chandelure, Cryogonal, Primate, Magneto, Superior, Alolan Mug, Perugly, and Thunderous Incarnate form. As you can see, the 6 he decided to bring, but I decided to bring Mega Gallade with Close Combat, Ice Punch, Sand Habit, and Shadow Sneak. I have my team on my phone, so I don't have to look sideways. I have Close Combat for the Chandelure, the Mug. It's everything that it hits everything that hits neutrally very hard because it's a Mega Gallade or max attack adamant. But enough speed to outspeed the Zygarde if it runs max speed and it rests in HP because 8 EVs aren't really going to matter. Ice Punch for the Zygarde specifically and the Thunderous to hit that super effectively, and Sand Headbutt for other stab neutral hit, for example for the Chandelure or for the Sylveon to hit that those very hard. Shadow Sneak is there pretty much for the Chandelure in case it's Scarf. Like if Chandelure comes, it's probably going to be Scarf. Like I don't switch into Scarf Shadow Ball very well, so that's a very big threat. And Shadow Sneak is about 50% to that. That's pretty much Gallade in a focus. It should always have Steadfast. Wait, it should have Justified always. Like it doesn't really matter. I will Mega Evolve instantly. Then I have Heatran with Sugar Berry. Also, the question of the day is, what is your favorite berry? I like type berries a lot. I like what's my favorite type berry? I think Golber, because Golber is like very handy for knockoff and stuff. I like some weird berry sets. I like Calm Mind, Ganon Berry, Infernape with Slack Off. Don't judge me. It's a real set. But I have Sugarberry, Heatran with Magma Storm, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Roar. Roar just to not let Zygarde set up because I lose it if Zygarde sets up. Also for Superior, Superior, I'll probably just spam Magma Storm, hope I hit. Roar is for the Thunder if it starts setting up, the Mug if it starts cursing up with Recycle and things like that. Chandelure if it starts Calm Minding. Magma Storm for the Bronzong, for the Superior, for Cryogonal, General Stab, Flash Cannon, for the Sylveon mainly, also with other things super neutrally with stab that I don't have to risk missing, and Earth Power for the Chandelure because I don't otherwise hit that thing very hard, same for the Blastoise. And I explained Roar. I am very specially defensive but also a bit physically defensive. This thing is designed to beat the Sylveon, to switch into the Sylveon and kind of beat it. Same for the Bronzong if it doesn't have Earthquake. It can switch into the Superior, but this isn't my Superior switching. I'll get to that later, but he doesn't decide to bring Superior, but he need a Superior switching. This thing also can switch into the Perugly if necessary. Next up I have the Greninja with Poisonium Z, Gunk Shot with Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, and U-Turn. This thing hits everything very hard. Ice Beam for the Zygarde, Gunk Shot for the Sylveon, Dark Pulse for the Bronzong, Dark Pulse for the Chandelure. Cryogonal kind of hits pretty well, but it doesn't like taking Gunk Shots with its relatively bad physical defense. But I have to make my phone not die every 5 seconds. Primate also can take hits pretty well, and if it comes, I mostly fear Scarf. Dark Pulse hurts the Mega Blastoise, Ice Beam hurts the Superior. AV Alolama kind of walls me, but I have other ways to deal with that. Broccoli doesn't like taking dark pulses, and Thunderous doesn't like taking ice beams, and U-turn is just there for momentum to get well momentum. Max well enough speed to outspeed probably Broccoli. He's like speed teams with like 111, 112, 113. Whatever the 113 is, might be superior. I think it's superior. I always outspeed everything unless something is Scarf. Um, Max special attack to deal as much as you can, and enough physical attack investment to, I think, max HP, no fish death. Sylveon always get OHKO'd by the Seagung shot, I think. It doesn't end up mattering, but because he doesn't bring Sylveon, but whatever. Then I Eviolite Pirate Swine with Thick Fat, Ice Heart, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and Toxic. Max Tech Adamant, Max Defense, a bit 4 HP. I didn't really know what to do with the Spider Swine. I just threw the four most basic moves on it and gave it max attack to hit as hard as possible with the Ice Shard because I don't want to get beaten by a Zygarde or a Thunderous or Superior. I want to hit as hard as possible with that Ice Shard in case I have to hit very hard with the Ice Shard. And Earthquake is for the rest. I do get walled by Bronzong pretty badly. But I can deal with Bronzong to a certain extent if it's not screens or something like that. Then I have Rotom Wash with the Sugar Berry. You might think it's weird to see a Rotom Wash with a Sugar Berry when I can't really do much with the Sugar Berry, but this thing is pretty much designed to not let Zygarde set up on me, because if I don't have HPI Sugar Berry, I get scared out. I would be forced out and I could get set up on and lose instantly. So I have a Sugar Berry to live types and arrows always. HPI is not a lot of damage because I'm max special attack modest. Very offensive Rotom Wash. Then I have Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. Volt Switch for momentum, Thunderbolt for damage, and Thunder Wave in case I want to slow something down, like the Superior, like the Mega Blasters, like a Scarf, Chandelure, I don't know. Anything I want to slow down, I can slow down with Thunder Wave. As the Superior is a pretty good switch into this. So yeah, I can slow that down. I outspeed Mega Blastoise, always like a modest Mega Blastoise. I didn't bother outspeeding a timid Mega Blastoise because no one runs timid Mega Blastoise, and I didn't want to waste EVs and a bit of HP just to take hits a bit better, even though not very bulky. Then I have Baby Thanos the Cure with the Chopo Berry, Ice Beam Roost, Earth Power Shadow Ball. This thing is very specially defensive with max special attack, calm nature, enough speed to outspeed. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the speed is for. It's been too long, but I have a reason behind the speed. Apparently, I don't know. But I have Ice Beam for a stab. Hits a lot of things very hard. Earth Power, Ice Beam just hits so many things very hard. And Shadow Ball, I have that for the Bronzong, Roost for recovery, and Chople Berry to eat any fighting type hit from Primeape or Aura Sphere from McBlast or something like that. And that is the team I decided to bring. And let's hop right into the battle. As you can wait, here we go. As you can see what he brought, I was very happy to not see Primeape, like Scarf Primeape destroys my team, absolutely destroys my team. But looking at this team, I thought it was a good idea to just straight put up pressure with my Mega Gallade. Because nothing likes taking a hit from Mega Gallade and nothing OHKO's Mega Gallade, so that seemed like a good idea as a lead. As he leads Thunder Rush, as I Mega Evolve, I realized the threat of Thunder Waving, but I can't really switch into anything. Pilot Swine is very important as I'm not very defensive. I have max HP, and I think, and that's it. I have like my max Fish Death. I don't have much speed F. I can't take focus blast very well, so I rather not switch that in. And everything else gets pretty much destroyed. I could have gone into cure, but I felt like this ice punching what would be the best play, as he does go for the thunder wave, paralyzing me, and I get paralyzed, get fully paralyzed, which is kind of huge because now he can freely thunderbolt me. Well, freely I could switch into Pirates One, but as I already said, I don't want to do that. But it does thunderbolt me for a good amount of damage, and Ice Punch would brought him down to 3%. So that para pretty mattered a bit. Now I can just freely Shadow Sneak and finish his Thunderous off, but he decides to save his Thunderous and go right into the Mega Blastoise on my Shadow Sneak. Here I just go back into my Cure, because Serum is kind of my switch into it. He goes for Water Pulse and he gets Confusion, even more hacks. I said in the chat that I might have come over salty, but I wasn't that salty. I'm doubling. I felt like I should double into the Rotom, as I don't think he would go for any. If he went for Aura Sphere easily live that, and Rotom would put up a lot of offensive pressure because he doesn't have a electric resist that doesn't get hit very hard with HP Ice. So I just go double into the Rotom as he goes into the Bronzong, and here I just get damage off on a Bronzong as he gets the Stealth Rocks. I don't get threatened too much by Stealth Rocks, Curious we do it, but here he decided to go for the Light Screen. And here I was very afraid of the screens at this point. I didn't know what exactly to do against the screens. I couldn't really do much. I didn't have defog on any of my mons, so of Brick Break I couldn't move the scene. That's very annoying, as it goes hard into the Zygarde on my Volt Switch. I decided to Volt Switch there in case he stayed in and I could get into my Greninja or something to fire off stab dark bosses or go into the make Galley to fire off close combats, but he goes into the Zygarde. And as you might have saw in the prep, I have Sucker Berry on the set with HP Ice. He predicts me to switch out into something, I don't know what, maybe the Pilot one, but he goes for the substitute as I show of Hidden Power Ice, as he decides to save his Zygarde, not wanting to have me HP Ice that thing, and I go into my Heat. As he goes into Perkly, I go into Heat right on his Perkly, and he shows a Stomping Tantrum, which I absolutely did not. I didn't even know Perkly got Stomping Tantrum, but that's pretty cool that it gets Stomping Tantrum. But because of, well, I would have lived it even without the Sugar Berry, but whatever. And I hit this thing with Magma Storm, dealing over 50% damage to this Perkly. And here I make like a bit of a misplay as I go into my Galley, not realizing that return just kills me. Not that Mega Galley would have done anything in later in the game. Maybe it outsped Mug, but it is what it is. As I go into my Powder Swine, trying just revenge the Perkly. Maybe he predicted me to click Stealth Rocks, but I didn't feel a need to put up Stealth Rocks. As he goes into the muck and I just kill that thing with Earthquake and Ice. I feel like that was a huge misplay on his part, because now his Greninja switch-ins are not existent. Especially after I double into my Rotom Wash on his Water Pulse, which doesn't confuse me this time, and I do 69% to his Mega Blastoise. And now it's just Greninja coming in and killing things. Darkmoss Mega Blastoise Fake Out doesn't do nearly enough to threaten me. He goes into the Thunderous, sacking that thing off. Zygarde dies. I feared Bennett experience speed, but I had like a good chance to live that. And getting rid of Zygarde is always a good thing. Because at that point the Kyurem pretty much won, and I just finished off this game with the Greninja. Funny enough, he lived that Dark Pulse with the Bronzong. But that was a very good game against Brett. I think he could have definitely won if he didn't sack off the alarm mug, because that thing threatened my that thing didn't allow Greninja to break through it. But yeah, that very good game. I'm kind of happy with the way I played. I feel like I'm getting my focus back and playing better. But I'll see you all next time against Torre and his Lisbon Lapras. A very good player, a very scary team. Pretty much destroys me on team matchup. But I'll see how that goes in next week. Bye.